Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rob, and this is RH Midwest Comics. And I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to analyze the sale prices for Amazing Fantasy 15. And the reason I'm doing this is because over the past 2 years, we have seen crazy sales records for all big comic books, right? Whether you're talking about Bronze Age, Silver Age, Golden Age, everything has just skyrocketed. And the reason for that is because, there was COVID and um, there was a lot of free money and really cheap money that was given out for a good period of time. And by cheap money, I mean loans, right? Interest rates were very small. In some cases, zero. And in some cases, loans didn't have to be paid back. But whatever, I'm not going to really dive into that today. But again, lots of free money, lots of cheap money, and everything skyrocketed in price. Collectibles, real estate, stock market, everything. And now what we've seen over the past 6 months or so is things are starting to correct themselves, including comic books. And a lot of people will say that, they didn't think Amazing Fantasy 15 would see that type of correction. A lot of people thought it was like the grail among grails for the Silver Age, which it is, and it was going to be immune to that. What we'll see is it was not. So, didn't I'm sorry to spoil the punchline. I think most of us already know that, but we're going to go and look, just dive a little bit deeper into how much of a correction is it seen. So, what I've done was I'm using GPA data. And I do want to thank George and the GPA team for allowing me to do this, right? GPA is a paid subscription. So I did not want to do this without their consent. And I appreciate them letting me do this. I'm not affiliated with GPA at all. And, I don't mind doing a little bit of free advertising here because I do really enjoy their website. It is, in my mind, a one-stop shop for almost every source of comic book sales for CGC graded books. So you're going to get eBay sales. You're going to get Comic Connect, Heritage, and then some other, smaller places like Hakes, and then I believe my comic shop as well. One source I know that they don't use is Comic Link, and for whatever reason, there's no partnership there. I don't know the details behind it. If anyone does know, feel free to put it in the comments. Um, I think I have a feeling the ball is in Comic Link's court for that partnership to happen, but I don't know that, right? I'm just speculating right now. I could be wrong. But anyway, it'd be nice if Comic Link, it's kind of funny because you see Comic Link right up here being advertised, but the yet the sales data isn't shared between the two. So maybe that'll happen someday. It'd be nice because Comic Link is a really, really good source for sales. All right. So what I've done is I have taken any grade that sold in November and December, and I want to choose the most recent 2 completed months because I thought that would reflect the best in terms of whether or not we're seeing a correction in the market. I didn't want to go back to June and certainly not January. But the comparison is going to be this. We're going to look at the high sale point, regardless of where it is, right? The highest sale for all these grades were either going to be 2021 or 2022. So we will look at that, and then we'll look at the most recent sale. And that's what I'm referring to is the most recent sale, whether it was November or December, then I'm taking that. If it was prior to November, I'm kind of leaving it out because kind of eliminate some of the correction we've been seeing in the industry here. So let's get going. There are 4 grades that sold in November or December. The first one is an 8.5. So here we are here, 8.5, last sale in November of 2022. And then these little charts here, which are really fantastic to see. It just tells you what the trends are. And here's the boom, right? Going all the way up to the top here. And in 2022, we saw a sale for an 8.5 of $875,000, right here. There were only 2 sales in 2022. So the highest sale ever, the record for an 8.5, happened to be in that year as well. And then the most recent sale, again, you can see it here just by default. This column shows the lowest sale price for the year. It just happens to be the most recent sale, which is also shown in this far right column, right? The far right column also has the most recent sale. So $552,000. So a big drop from the 875 for sure, a much needed correction. But you can see when you go back to 2017, when this book really started to increase in price, and you can see for like a good 4 years here, it was kind of stagnant, all in the low, 100 to 115, $120,000, and then boom, started jumping up. But after 2017, right, we didn't see a sale until 21, and then of course you saw like a 4 or 5 times, 5x increase. So 552 still way above where this book was, 4 or 5 years ago. Nonetheless, a much needed correction. All right, that was the 8.5. Next book, 5.0. So kind of a similar trend. You're going to see these lower grades have more data points. That's why you see more ups and downs. And then, bam, you see the highest sale here at $100,000 again in 2022. I thought a lot of these would be 2021 sales, but for AF15, we saw the jump a little bit later. And then the most recent sale, $48,000. So, price more than cut in half from the high point. That's the 5.0. Next one is the 4.0. And here you go. It's very similar trend. High point of $75,000, which was in 2021. And then we've seen a bunch of sales starting to come down, with the most recent one at $31,200. So this grade saw the biggest drop, more than cut in half. 75 grand down to 31 grand. So big drop on the 4.0. And then the last grade that we've got to look at is a 2.0. Let me get the screen right here. So again, the trend and the chart look very similar to the other grades. When you look here, the highest sale was in 2022, $38,400. And then the most recent sale, when you look up here, is $24,000. Now, that wasn't the lowest sale of the year. There was a sale prior to the November sale that was even lower, right? Low sale of the year was $21,600. But so this one was a little bit higher. And I don't know if that, 21,000 had worse page quality or had tape on the cover or something like that. We could go into those notes on this site as well. GP is really good for showing the graders notes on these. But I wasn't going into all that today. But what we do need to know is it went from 38 grand down to 24 grand, and that's a big drop. Okay, so let's just take a look at the summary here. So here you can see, we're gonna look at this visually, right? We're gonna look at the 4 grades we talked about. We'll look at the high price. We'll look at the last sale, and then what type of percentage change and drop does that mean? So the excuse me, first grade we looked at was an 8.5. And again, that high sale was a whopping $875,000. Massive. Last sale, still over a $500,000, right? 552,000, down 38%, 37%. Next grade, 5.0. High of 100,000, last sale 48,000, more than a 50% drop there, so more than cut in half. Then we've got the 4.0, $75,000 high, last sale of 31,200, 58% drop, so almost 60%. Big drop there. And then finally, we have the 2.0, 38,400 was the high sale, and then the last sale was 24,000, so just under a 40% drop there. And then when you look at all 4 of the grades combined, 46% drop. So overall, this book is trending almost cut in half from the high point. So, it was expected, these books, and I'll get into other books as well when I do more of these. we're going to see something very, very similar. So the correction, my opinion, is definitely needed. These prices, even with the last sales, they're all still higher than they were a couple years ago. But they're falling more in line to where the trend probably should be, right? The books should be higher than a couple years ago, even if we didn't have this big, you know, money boom, free money, cheap money thing happen. The books should be higher because these are blue chip keys. And as time goes by, they've all increased over time. They're solid investments. If you want to look at them as investments or whatever, they're good things to put your money into. So, much needed correction. What's going to happen in 2023? I don't think any of us know for sure. But what I will say is there was one grade. Remember, I only took November and December sales. I believe there's been one sale early in January here for an AF15, and it saw a little bit of a bump compared to the last sale. So I don't know if that means, we've hit the floor and we're starting to go back up. That's not what I'm saying. But my opinion is when you look at some of the steep drops we saw in these four books, because you saw the charts on all four, we're not going to continue seeing that. This book will flatten out. My opinion is I think it's going to flatten out this year and start going up. Will they all start going up this year? Don't know, but I think the flattening out process will continue this year, right? The slopes of that downward trend are not going to continue at the same slope. So that's my opinion. I hope you guys like this. That's all I really wanted to go over today. I am going to do more of these. I'm going to look at some of the other big books like Fantastic Four #1, Hulk 1, X-Men 1, and I'll do the big Bronze Age books as well, like Giant Size X-Men, Hulk 181. I'll do all of them. And those definitely, the Bronze Age books definitely have more sales because they're more plentiful. And so the data will be a little more stable there as well. But I expect we'll see something similar to this. And as time goes by, I'll start including the 2023 data as well so that we can see, right? Did we hit the floor on these books? Are they all starting to go back up, or is the trend continuing down? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you did like it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to keep doing my other content as well when I buy collections, when I go to shows, because I know people like seeing that kind of stuff. I even like seeing that stuff when I watch other people's content. So I'll keep doing that, but I'm going to start adding in more of these price analysis videos, okay? So I hope everyone had a great start to 2023. Please stay safe, and until next time, have a great day.